I watched this stupid Rob Gronkowski 24-hour title switch that R-Truth won the title back. And I understand it's a joke title and WWE has become nothing more than a joke. But what my issue is with here, I watched the skit because it was the only newsworthy thing I read today coming out of Raw that I haven't already reported on. Was Rob Gronkowski. Let me set the scene for you. He's at his house with his friend. He's coming out to film a TikTok video with his friend, and R-Truth is dressed as the gardener. And when Gronkowski is looking at the gardener, the friend takes off his jacket to reveal this random friend of his is wearing a WWE official's shirt. So I guess by just wearing a referee's shirt, that makes you qualify to be a referee for a title match. And this referee pins 1, 2, 3. R-Truth is the new champion. So I guess anyone that wears a referee's shirt now is good enough to be a WWE referee. So anyways, it's just sad to see. This is why I've tried to avoid watching wrestling, because seeing stupid stuff like that just upsets me. When you think back to the glory days and the days when I was a kid, you would not see stupid stuff like that back in the times I was just telling you about. The other thing I wanted to address, I did a shoot interview with Al Snow today, 2 hours long. It's still processing. It will be up in full on my patreon.com/the Hannibal TV Patreon page tomorrow, along with my full Road Warrior Animal and Dan Severin shoots that are also up there ad-free. But Al Snow, in the clip I posted today as a teaser, he responded to an issue that CM Punk said to him, or said about him, that a fan sent me the clip of. I'm not going to credit the person since they don't credit me when they talk about me. But basically, Punk alleged that Al Snow tried to get the Majors brothers, Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins, those talentless losers, fired from WWE, and he accused Al Snow and Noval of being stooges. And that's not true, basically, according to Al Snow. You can watch the video to see his response, but a lot of people question what that whole incident with CM Punk and Tony Atlas was about. If you want to hear Tony's version of it, you can look up Tony Atlas responds to CM Punk, the Hannibal TV, and it'll pop up. But basically, Tony Atlas was working for WWE. They sent him to developmental. He hadn't been watching the product. He didn't know CM Punk was ECW champion. CM Punk didn't tell him he was ECW champion at the time. And he saw Punk backstage taping his wrists up like it's a cast, basically. I guess CM Punk liked to pretend he was a real fighter, which we all know he's not. He has an 0-2 record. Second guy he lost to in MMA. Hasn't fought since, to my knowledge, and he had a 0-1 record. He was a member of the media, not a full-time fighter. Also, Ted Hart beat him up in a street fight prior to that. But anyways, he likes to pretend he's a fighter, so he tapes his wrists all the way up to his elbows or something, and Tony Atlas didn't understand it. So he made some comment that, why do you look like you're injured? You're taping your wrists up like it was a cast. And he made some type of comment like, you're never going to make it to TV with a gimmick like that, something along those lines. To which I guess CM Punk didn't bother to show him the ECW belt and explain to him that he actually was on TV. At that time, he wasn't a development wrestler. So later on, I guess after the taping, they were having a meeting going over the show. CM Punk, from his own version of it, said he was zoned out, not paying attention, and that I guess Tony Atlas was alluding to Punk being rude during this presentation. somehow I guess Punk was sitting with the Majors brothers, those two geeks, and I guess all three of them ended up getting some heat because Tony Atlas was saying some stuff about Punk. Then Punk shot back at him, and there was a whole big hoopla over it involving the office. And Tony didn't feel like he was treated with respect as a legend. And by the way, I've known Tony Atlas for years now, and he's always been very polite to me, and I've always treated him politely, and I never had an issue with Tony Atlas. So I can imagine maybe if Tony Atlas was being a little fired up or a little on edge, maybe Punk was being rude to him and not being respectful. Maybe if Punk had just simply explained, hey, look, I'm the ECW champion. This is my gimmick. I'm already on the road. I'm already on TV. This is my last appearance in OVW. Maybe it could have been settled right there. But apparently it was settled. CM Punk even said in this, but he took a shot at Tony and said, I guess Tony was there to show the developmental wrestlers that you shouldn't do drugs and waste your money because you'll end up like him. And you know what? I have a lot of respect for Tony. He's a good guy. He was not well educated. He's a tough guy. I really like him, and he's given me a lot of good advice, and I have a lot of respect for him. So I thought taking those cheap shots at Tony Atlas was pretty rude. He's taken some cheap shots at Jacques Rougeau recently too. And I don't know. I don't have any respect for this CM Punk guy. Donovan Hunt says, you're my childhood hero. If you're talking about me, thank you very much. If you're talking about Rob Gronkowski or someone else, good for you too. But I guess if you're watching my channel, you must be talking about me. Captain Point says, agreed. Preach, my brother. You must be talking about this 24/7 title, stupid crap. Chris Lockhart says, amen. Nicholas Roque says 24/7 championship is a joke. You're making all your titles a joke when you do that, and all of your titles are a joke. Nobody cares anymore. It's sad. I'm going to try not to watch this because it really does upset me to see how crappy the product is. And the only reason I'm watching it is because people say if you're going to report on it, at least watch some of the stuff. And I try, and it upsets me. So I'm probably not going to do this as much. Someone says wrestling is a parody of itself. Yes, it is. Alan Orange, wrestling can be painfully stupid sometimes. Yes. Nicholas Rogue says Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas were the first black tag team champions in WWE. Yes, they were. And they're both very proud of that. Frizzy Reed says Punk mouthing off again, typical. Big D Cameron says Punk mouthed off again recently. Well, someone uploaded this video recently, and I only saw it today because I interviewed Al Snow today, and I did look at the fan questions in my Facebook story before I interviewed Al Snow, and I got a good chunk of your questions in. And that was one of the questions. And I wanted to actually watch the video of Punk saying it before I asked Tony the question. Ray says WWE Network is free now. You know what? You'd have to pay me to watch it. You would seriously have to pay me to watch it. Brandon Payne says, who do I think is the most dominant athlete in professional wrestling? I couldn't fairly answer that because I haven't seen enough of it. I don't know everybody on all the rosters. B6521 says, Hannibal, CM Punk ran away from me in real life. He was scared. I guess that must be some kind of, you must have seen him in real life. That's your comment. Big D Cameron says, I've done another typo. Well, we'll end it at that because what? It's 4:15 in the morning. I'm up this late because I run at night now. I had skin cancer. I just had it removed. You guys want to see the ugly patch of my skin that was removed. And one of my favorite pastimes in the summer used to be running with my shirt off in the sun. And I can't do that anymore. I don't want to catch anything like this again. I had the skin cancer removed. So I run in the middle of the night. It's very peaceful. And yeah, we're going to call it a night at that. Have a good one, everyone. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Hannibal TV and subscribe to my podcast, the audio version of my shoot interviews. The link is in the description of this video on iTunes.